Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 17. Day 17, sorry, I'm playing with my hair. Today is day 17 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least 2 things every day that I don't want to do just because I know it's good for me. So, yay! I made it to day 17 and continuing my countdown, I have 83 days to go. Oh, and I think yesterday I was randomly talking about trying to put a positive spin on things, and I was talking about how I'm always complaining about things, and I'm trying not to be complaining about things in my videos when I'm doing these, and I'm trying to find something that I can learn from them and something positive that's coming out of doing things I don't want to do, which makes this even harder for me to do this. And right now, today, I feel like I'm struggling to find things I didn't want to do because I'm just getting myself to do everything because I'm so tired. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I like to do, I guess they're little itty bitty challenges, not ones that I run away from, but um, I guess they're little mini goals, something like I'm going to do so much stuff and playing a game. It's playing a game with myself. Let's do it that way. That makes the most sense. But basically I look at the time and say, okay, I have this much time left until I can do this. I have this much time left until I can do this. And it's like a little countdown with myself. And so I constantly watch the clock to see how much time I have left and how much time I have left. So yesterday, because I took a nap and I took it so late in the day. It wasn't so late. I just slept so late. I think I laid down at 1:30, and I didn't get out of bed until 5:30. So I slept for 4 hours in the afternoon. And I meant to sleep for 2 hours, but I didn't set an alarm. And so I slept for 4 hours. So then when it was time to go to bed last night, I was not tired. I was not tired at all. So I struggled to get myself to fall asleep. And then I think I was still awake at midnight, and I decided to check my email because I was laying in bed and not sleeping. So I checked my email, which was just keeping me awake. But then I saw an email from my attorney from a week ago, because apparently it's been a week since I checked my email. And I was kind of annoyed because he'd been calling me and giving me updates on what was going on and told me that we were going to get a settlement in the next week or two. And I was like, awesome. And then I hadn't heard from him. And then it's because he sent me an email and I have to sign something so that I can get a settlement. And I was like, oh my gosh, all I have to do is sign something, except that I don't have a working printer to print it out, sign it. And then I don't know, I haven't hooked my laptop up to my printer and I haven't used it in years. So I'm not even sure if the scanner or my printer would work at this point because it's just kind of been sitting around collecting dust for years. I'm assuming it still works, but I have no idea as far as scanning it back in and emailing it back to my attorney. And of course, if I'd known, I could have called them on Friday when I got off of work early and been like, hey, if you're in the office, I can just stop by and sign whatever you need me to sign and we'll be good. But, or if I'd known when I went to Mom and Dad Shoemaker's for dinner last night, I could have been like, hey, can I print this out? Can you help me with this? So, of course, my brain is focused on that when I'm falling asleep. And then I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I struggled to go back to sleep. And then my alarm went off this morning. And I was just kind of And I got up because it was I felt like I kind of had a nap. But I got about halfway through my day, not quite to lunchtime. And I was and now I'm ready for bed. And so by the afternoon, by around 2 o'clock, I was I'm getting a headache because I haven't had any sleep. And that's not an okay thing. So I am challenging myself, or basically told myself that I would go to bed at 8 o'clock tonight. And I don't normally go to bed at 8 o'clock. I don't normally go to bed early at all. So, but in not really challenging myself, but in giving myself a time frame in which to do everything, I feel kind of stressed / motivated to get everything done before 8 o'clock so that I can be in bed asleep. So that is my goal. So hence I am getting a lot of things done, and I'm not sure how much of it is I don't want to do it so much as I'm just determined to get it all done so that I can go to bed. Because I think I do this every day where I have a list of things I think I need to do before I can go to bed. And then if I don't get them done, I will stay up until I can't stay awake any longer, waiting for myself to be motivated to do them. And then I get to the point where okay, I'm too tired, I give up, I'm just going to go to bed. So today, the opposite is happening. I was at work, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 8. It's 2 o'clock. I have 6 hours. I'm going to bed in 6 hours. I've been counting down. It's about 6:40. I got like an hour and 20 minutes. So I got to finish my video. I got to write in my journal, and I got to brush my teeth, and I can maybe actually be in bed by 8 o'clock tonight. So this is a celebration for me. I don't really want to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I do like the idea of sleeping for 9 hours because I need to set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning. And I do like the idea of hopefully sleeping off my headache so it doesn't get any worse, because it will get worse if I continue to not sleep, which is, not good. So I know it will be good for me. It's just not my favorite thing to go to bed that early. But I think I'm tired enough that my body won't care, and hopefully my brain will have done enough stuff that it will shut down so that I can sleep. I'm hoping. I don't know. But I did get up this morning, even though I did not want to, and I got onto my laptop to try to figure out that email from my attorney, and I emailed him back, and I was just like, And then, of course, at work, I thought about sending him a message or something at lunch, and I was trying to think of all these other alternatives, but I sent him an email this morning and basically said, look, I don't have any means of printing this out. I don't know how late you're in your office, but this is how late I work. So not really sure how to do this. And then I called him after work. I got off, not like super early, but I got off like a little after 4:30. So I called him and I was like, oh, good, he's still in the office. And I was like, okay, if you want to, I can drive out there like right now, but I'm like half an hour away, and I'm pretty sure he's closing in like 20 minutes or whatever. May or may not make it by 5 o'clock, but I can try. And he was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. He's like, I'll just send you like one of those e-docs and you could just DocuSign it, kind of a thing. And I was like, you could have just, I'm like, never mind. I was like, could have just done that the week before. But I guess he has some clients that don't like to do it that way, that like to print it out, that like to come in person. So he was just giving me options, and I was like, dude, you could have called me on the phone last week and given me options and then told me you were sending me an email, because I don't check my email. Of course, that's on me. I know that's on me and not on my attorney, and I need to pay better attention to what's going on in my email and in my life, and I don't. So that was kind of my expectation, that he would call me and let me know, not send me an email, because I don't think, to this point, he's either sent something in the mail, which I don't check my mail very often either, or he's called me. He hasn't ever emailed me, and even when I email him stuff, he doesn't respond to my emails. So I was just like, okay. So I was just really surprised when I got an email. So I didn't want to have to deal with that today, but I dealt with it. So I dealt with it this morning and sent the email response, and then I called him this afternoon just to make sure that it's all going to get taken care of, because I want my money. I could use the money. That's the reality of that one. So I did that. And then, of course, I came home and I didn't want to I needed to do dishes, but I wasn't planning on making enough dinner or food to have leftovers for lunch tomorrow. I'd already planned on something else for lunch tomorrow, but I got carried away and just cooked everything. Well, not everything, but I just cooked a bunch of stuff. So I actually have leftovers for lunch tomorrow, so I don't have to make lunch tomorrow. So that's good. But now I still got to figure out what to do with my avocado, because I have half an avocado that I want to mix in with my tuna fish, and I've got half a cucumber that I want to cut up and put in with my tuna fish. But I was going to do that for lunch tomorrow, but now I'm not going to do that for lunch tomorrow. So maybe I'll do that for dinner tomorrow, because I think my avocado is going to go bad on me if I don't eat it soon. Anyway, so I did that, which I wasn't really planning on doing. And then I saw some video, I don't know if it was on Facebook or someplace else, but I saw some video about cleaning, and how if you get like your cookie sheets, your little pans like those that go in the oven to bake things on, your baking sheets, there we go, that if you put them in the oven on the self-clean mode, it'll help to get all of like the dark grease cooked on stuff that doesn't come out unless you like scrub it and whatever, or you soak it forever. And I have some that I've just cooked multiple times, and I've never even washed them in between. Like, I just cover them with a fresh layer of parchment paper or a fresh layer of aluminum foil, and I just keep baking the stuff on them. So they don't ever get like washed in between, which is really bad. So I thought I would try that tonight, and I don't know why that kept popping into my head to do that. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I hit the self-clean button on my oven. I've never actually done that. I've never done a self-clean on the oven. I don't actually know what it does. I also wasn't aware that it takes 4 hours and 20 minutes to do that. So I have my baking sheet in my oven for 4 hours and 20 minutes, and I have no intention of being awake when it gets done. Because I did that at 5:30, so 4 hours and 20 minutes is going to be like 9:50, almost 10 o'clock. And I was like, no, I don't want to be awake at 10 o'clock tonight. My goal is to be in bed at 8 o'clock. So I'm hoping that it's okay. I hope it doesn't like do like some beeper thing and go off and go crazy on me if I don't like turn it off as soon as I get out of, as soon as it goes off. Because like I said, I've never done it before. But so then part of me just wanted to stop it and be like, okay, I'm stopping it mid whatever. I'm just turning it off. I don't care because I'm not staying up until 10 o'clock. So I'm just hoping I don't have to babysit it and it just does its little timer thing and turns itself off, because I'm assuming that's what it's going to do. I may have to Google that, which I don't really want to do either. But I also don't want some crazy thing to happen to the oven while I'm sleeping, because that would not be good. But anyway, I don't want to wake up 2 hours after I go to bed either. So those are the things that I, don't really want to do. But I mean, I did dishes tonight, so yay. I made more food than I expected, and so now I have lunch for tomorrow, so yay. And I did talk to my attorney, and he's going to send me a DocuSign thing, so I don't have to stress about trying to find someone to print out paperwork for me to sign and then scan and fax back to him, or trying to race from one side of town to the other just so that I can sign some papers to get some money. So I'm very grateful that it all worked out, that it's all a good thing. And as much as I don't like being tired and getting a headache, I'm also very grateful that my brain likes to play games and likes this challenge that I've set forth. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this in this amount of time. And it doesn't always work out for me. But so far, God is helping me. And I have like an hour to get ready for bed and still be in bed at 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I also went to eat dinner and wanted to watch one of my shows, and I did not. I chose to watch a conference talk instead, something I need to do in lieu of my Come Follow Me, or just catch up on ones that I haven't watched for a while. So that's one of the things I'm trying to do that's on my to-do list that I've just been avoiding finishing. And so tonight I went to my brain is saying one show to watch, and my fingers are just clicking through to the YouTube to watch the conference session. And I was like, I guess I'm watching a conference talk tonight. So again, something else. I'm grateful that I watched it, and I enjoyed the talk, and it was very uplifting and spiritual, and it was wonderful, and I'm grateful that I did it. I'm not complaining about having done it. It's just, sometimes it's just hard for me to put myself in that kind of mood, or to be like, I'm just going to eat dinner and watch conference, because conference to me just always seems like it's something to be uplifting. It's something to get information, to meditate, to write down, to take notes, to apply to my life, and not really something to just, I'm eating dinner and I'm watching watching a talk or listening to a talk while I'm eating dinner. I watch entertainment that, I don't really have to remember later, or I don't have to put a lot of thought into, because it does all the work for me. Whereas a conference talk, I have to pay attention, and there's work involved in that as far as my brain is concerned, like processing the information and, oh, this is good information, or, oh, this applies to me, or, oh, I like the way that they phrased that. So there's just, more in a conference talk than just a TV show. So and not something I have to focus on, not something I can do a lot of multitasking with either. So it's harder for me to get myself to do that, I guess. But I did it tonight. So again, just trying to come up with things that I got myself to do that I didn't want to do, because like I said, it feels like a lot today. Even though there's a lot of things, it just feels like I'm just checking off things on a to-do list, because I've given myself a time limit to go to bed at 8 o'clock. And of course, I'm like, I want to go to bed at 8 o'clock because I'm tired, and I just want to curl up in my bed and go to sleep and not do anything. Because that's really what I want to do to make my headache go away. But I also want to get all of my stuff done, and I don't want to do what I normally do, which is stay up until 10 or 11 o'clock at night and just still play games and watch TV and be just even more tired, because then my head will hurt even more tomorrow. And I'm really hoping that it will not hurt at all, and I will just be able to sleep and wake up and be like, yay, all better. But only time will tell. So that is what I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And feel free to share if you're trying things you don't like to do that are good for you, or share any other good experiences that you have in your life. And that's all I have for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe try doing a couple things today that you know you need to do, even though you don't really want to.